Good morning, guys. Today in this one's going to be a super simple one. We're just going to learn how to create some flickering fire. Just some trickery with the intensity of point lights. So this is just an empty map right now. So to get to this, just create a new third-person project, go File, New Level, and then click Default like that, and you'll be presented with this. This is what we're going to work with today. So just over here, let's just give ourselves some room. So change the scale there to 5 and just change the location to 0, 0, 0 like that. And then if we hit play, we're in the middle like that and we've got some room to play around. So let's create a new folder down here and let's just call this Flickering Fire like that. Create a new blueprint class of type actor and call this Flickering Fire BP. Add component, particle system. Over here to where it says template, click on P Fire. That'll come with your starter content if you've got starter content enabled. We want to add a point light, so go add component and add a point light like that, and then attach that to the particle system, and then just change the position of the particle system to say like 50 or something, just so it's maybe like 25, just so it's a little bit above the ground like that. Or perhaps a better way, no, let's just leave it like that, that's fine. So in your construction script, what we're going to do, actually no, let's not worry about that, let's just set the color of the fire here. So we'll just give that like a nice orangey sort of color like that. That's fine. Let's just chuck that in the world now and let's just see how that looks. So let's change that up to there, dock it up at the top there. You can go ahead and you can save your map. So we might just go to maps, your maps folder, and just save this and just call this, I don't know, something like testing map. Testing map. Okay, now let's just drop that in. So that's our little fire just like that. Looking pretty good. We might just make the particle system a little bit bigger. So what if we change the fire to 3 like that, and then if we bring the light up just a little bit so that it sits above the fire. Yeah, that looks nice. It's not as intense on the ground now. Beautiful. And you can see we've got a shadow of our character from the fire as well. Like that. Okay, so now let's do the whole flickering thing. So if you go into your event graph, delete both of those nodes except keep the begin play. And off of the begin play, we're going to have a timeline, and we're going to call this flickering timeline, like that. Hit compile and save. Grab in your point light like this and say set intensity. And the intensity that we're going to set is going to be a lerp between 2 values, like that. And hook that up to update. So change the alpha to 0.5, so we'll be lerping halfway between 2 values, 0.5 for halfway. The first value is going to be the point light's current intensity, so get your point light and say get intensity, like that. And then B is going to be a new variable, so we'll drag that out, promote to variable, and this is going to be called target intensity, just like that. So what we'll do is we'll add a sequence node here, like that. So every time this ticks, we need to open this up and set that to looping, by the way. So every time this ticks, we're going to be moving our intensity to a new target intensity, and then down here we're going to have a delay, and this delay is going to be a random float in range. Oops. Random float in range between, say, I don't know, 0.1 and maybe 0.5. We'll fine tune this in a sec. And so every 0.1 to 0.5 seconds, what we're going to do is we're going to get a new target intensity. And the new target intensity is going to be also a random float in range between, maybe we'll have 2, oh no, we'll just set them manually. So the new target intensity could be something like 1000 like that, and maybe 10,000. So what's going to happen here is as soon as the game begins, this is going to start ticking, and every time that fires, it's going to set the intensity to closer to the target intensity, and every this long it's going to get a new target intensity. So it should be constantly jumping between intensities, but shouldn't look too harsh because it's got the lerping alpha there. So let's give that a look. Let's jump in. So it's kind of flickering. It looks a bit slow to me right now, so let's just speed that up. Let's change this to 0.05 as the min, and the max to be something like 0.1. And maybe we can make these more extreme. No, that should be okay. Let's just leave that like that. Okay. That looks like it's flickering a bit. Looks actually quite nice. I might bring the whole thing up just a little bit. Just like that. And what I might also do is I might make it even faster again. No, maybe not. We might just leave it just like that. Or maybe we could, yeah, no, we'll leave it like that. But we could change the intensities here, so maybe we can make that a little bit lower. 500 is the min, and maybe 20,000 as the max. Oops, 20, 1, 2, 3. 20,000 is the max. Okay. I think that min's a little bit too low. Let's change that back to 1,000, yeah. But that's basically it. That's the flickering light tutorial. It doesn't look too bad. I mean, you can play with it and you can tweak it to get the colors that you want, you know, to get it flickering at the right rate, and you can change the color of it a bit, like maybe we could make it a little bit warmer. Something like that. And I might just bump this down to 15,000 because it did look like it was getting a little bit too bright at times. If you want to make the jumping more harsh, you could change this up to say something like 0.8. If you wanted to make it smoother, you could change it lower to something like 0.2. So if we look now, yeah, that looks pretty good. If you look at the light on the character, it looks quite nice. Like, it does look like a fire. If we wanted to add a sound as well, I think there's a good fire sound with the starter content. You can say spawn sound at location here. And actually, you know what? Let's not do it like that. Let's actually add a component for the sound. So we'll say audio up here. And the sound is going to be fire crackling, I think it is. Fire sparks. That one. That's the one we want. That's nice. Okay. I wonder if that's looping. So if you double click the sound wave there, there should be a option here for looping, and you can see looping here is ticked. If that's not ticked for you, just tick that and then save that and then close it. So that'll be a looping fire sound, but we don't want that to be hearable just anywhere. We want to add some attenuation to that so you can only hear it while you're near the fire. So to do that, if you scroll down with your audio selected, there should be an option that says override attenuation, down like that. And then if you scroll back up to attenuation distance, you can see that we've got some spheres up here now. The inner radius is where the sound is at its maximum. So let's just make that something like that. And then the outer radius is the fall off distance. So anywhere outside of the fall off distance, the sound will be gone. You won't be able to hear it at all. So let's just give something like that a go, and we'll see how that goes. So there we go. Some nice fire crackling like that, and if we walk away, you can't hear it anymore. It's really cold here where I live this morning, and just looking at this is making me feel warm, as weird as that sounds. Okay, that's the end for this one. I'm going to leave that there, guys. If you have any questions, let me know, but I'll see you in the next tutorial. Peace out.